The night on the distant planet Zarathus was cold and silent. The sky was dark, filled with thick gray clouds. A heavy fog covered the ground like a soft blanket. This was not a friendly place. The wind moved through the tall black trees with a slow whistle. Every sound felt louder in the quiet night. Captain Aidan Clark walked alone through the fog. His boots made a crunching sound on the rocky path. He had been a pilot and explorer for many years. He was not the type of man who feared the unknown. But even he felt uneasy tonight. Zarathus was still a new colony. Humans had only arrived here a few months ago, and they still did not fully understand the planet. Aidan had gone out to check the signal towers on the edge of the settlement. His small transport vehicle had stopped working halfway, so now he had to walk back. His breath came out as mist in the cold air. He tightened his coat and kept moving. The fog was getting thicker with every step. Then he heard it, a small sound. It was faint, like someone crying. Aidan stopped. He turned slowly, scanning the trees around him. The fog made everything blurry. At first he thought it was just the wind. But then he heard it again. It was a soft sobbing, like a frightened child. Aidan's training told him to be careful. Many creatures on Zarathus could mimic human sounds. He reached for the flashlight on his belt and switched it on. The beam of light cut through the fog. "Hello?" he called out. His voice echoed into the night. "Is someone there?" No answer. Only the sound of wind. He took a few careful steps forward. The ground was soft here, wet from the evening mist. His light moved across the trees until it stopped on something small and still. There, sitting against a rock, was a girl. She was not human. Her skin was pale with glowing blue lines that shimmered like starlight. Her eyes were large and bright, reflecting his light like glass. She was shaking badly, hugging her knees close to her chest. Her clothes were torn and wet. Aidan could see she was freezing. Aidan slowly lowered his weapon and raised his hands to show he meant no harm. "Hey," he said gently. "It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you." The girl looked at him with wide, fearful eyes. She tried to speak, but only a weak sound came out. She was clearly scared and exhausted. Aidan could tell she needed help. He walked closer, step by step, until he was standing right in front of her. The fog curled around them like silent waves. "Here," he said. He took off his thick coat and gently wrapped it around her small body. She flinched at first, but then she relaxed a little as the warmth reached her. She was cold, too cold. He could feel her trembling through the fabric. "What happened to you?" he asked quietly, kneeling down beside her. The girl opened her mouth. Her voice was soft and shaky, her accent strange but understandable. "The storm," she whispered. "The storm is coming," Aidan frowned. "Storm? What storm?" She shook her head slowly, tears in her glowing eyes. "You don't know. What's coming?" Before Aidan could ask anything else, the ground trembled slightly under his boots. A cold wind rushed through the trees. It wasn't a normal breeze. It felt heavy, like something powerful was approaching. The girl grabbed his arm with surprising strength. "We have to go," she whispered urgently. Aidan didn't understand everything, but he didn't need to. He could see the fear in her eyes. He lifted her carefully into his arms. She was lighter than he expected, almost weightless. She held onto him weakly as he began walking back toward the settlement. The fog seemed to follow them like a living thing. The settlement of Haven Outpost was still young. It was made of metal shelters, tall watchtowers, and bright security lights. Aidan could see it glowing faintly through the fog. He walked faster. The girl's breathing was shallow. Her skin felt cold against his chest. At the gate, the guards stared in shock when they saw Aidan carrying an alien girl. "Captain, what happened?" one of them asked. "Found her in the marsh," Aidan said. "She's freezing." "Get the medics." The guards opened the gate quickly. Aidan carried her inside. The warmth of the settlement hit him like a wave. He took her straight to the medical bay. The doctors rushed to help, wrapping her in thermal blankets and placing her under a heater. Her breathing became more steady, but she still trembled. Aidan stayed near the door, watching carefully. He didn't know who she was or why she was out there. But one thing was clear. She was not just some lost traveler. There was something unusual about her. Her glowing patterns were not like anything he had ever seen. Dr. Lena, the head medic, walked up to Aidan. "She's stable for now," she said. "But her biology is very different. She's not from any known species we've cataloged." "Did she say anything?" Aidan asked. Lena shook her head. "Only a few words. Something about a storm. Aiden's brow tightened. The wind outside had grown stronger. The fog at the edges of the settlement had begun swirling in strange shapes. Something was out there. Later that night, Aiden returned to the medical bay. The girl was awake now, sitting up slowly on the bed, wrapped in a silver thermal blanket. Her glowing blue lines were brighter than before. She looked at him as he entered, her eyes filled with both fear and curiosity. Aiden gave her a small, calm smile. Feeling better? She didn't answer at first. She studied him as if trying to decide whether to trust him. Then slowly she nodded. "My name is Aiden," he said gently. "Captain Aiden Clark. I'm with the human colony here." "Who are you?" The girl hesitated. Then she whispered, "Ilyana." Aiden repeated the name softly. Ilyana. "That's a beautiful name." She looked down at her hands, still shaking a little. "You should not have helped me," she said quietly. Her voice was stronger now, but still soft. Aiden raised an eyebrow. "Why not?" She looked up, and for the first time he saw something deeper in her eyes. Not just fear, but warning. "Because they will come for me," she said. "And when they do, they will find you." Before Aiden could respond, the power lights flickered. A loud alarm sounded through the base. The fog outside moved in a strange way, as if alive. The communication panel on the wall lit up with a flashing red message. Aiden rushed to the console and pressed it. A robotic voice read the message. "Warning. Unknown signal detected approaching the settlement. High energy readings. Prepare for contact." Lena and the guards hurried into the room. "Captain, something's out there," one of them said. "We've never seen a signal like this." Ilyana's hands clenched tightly around the blanket. "It's too late," she whispered. "They found me." Aiden turned to her. "Who found you?" She met his eyes with a calm, sad look. "The storm." The outer defense lights turned bright white as shapes began to move through the fog. The sensors showed several large energy signatures approaching from the north. The wind howled louder, rattling the metal walls of the settlement. Soldiers rushed to their stations, weapons ready, but none of them really knew what was coming. Aiden stepped outside the medical bay. His breath caught in the freezing air. He could see shadows in the fog, big, tall, and moving fast. This was no normal storm. Behind him, Ilyana stood slowly, still wrapped in the coat he had given her. The glowing lines on her skin pulsed like living light. She was frightened, but she was also... "Ready?" Aiden's communicator beeped sharply. A private message appeared on the screen. It was not from the colony. It came from an unknown source. "If you have her, you are in danger. Her mother will come. Be ready for the storm." Aiden stared at the message. He didn't understand all of it, but he understood one thing clearly. This girl was not just anyone. She was someone important. And whatever was coming was bigger than anything the colony had faced before. He turned back to look at Ilyana. She was watching the fog too, her eyes glowing bright, and deep inside Aiden felt it. The quiet moment before everything changed. The night sky over Haven Outpost was alive with movement. Thick fog rolled across the ground like a living thing, and a strange wind circled the colony walls. The warning alarms echoed through the outpost, sharp and clear. The message was simple. Something powerful was coming. Captain Aiden Clark stood near the gate, his coat flapping in the wind. His eyes stayed on the darkness beyond the lights. He had faced danger many times before, but this felt different. It was not just an enemy. It felt like a storm with a mind of its own. Beside him stood Ilyana, still wrapped in the coat he had given her. Her glowing blue lines grew brighter with every second. She was scared, but something inside her was also awake now. It was as if the storm itself was answering her heartbeat. A guard ran up to Aiden. "Captain, we've got 10, maybe more, moving fast. The sensors can't identify them. Keep the gates sealed," Aiden said firmly, "and prepare the defense turrets." The guard nodded and rushed away. The wind grew louder. The fog pressed against the colony wall like waves against a ship. Shapes moved in the mist, their outlines tall and sharp. Ilyana took a small step forward. "They are here," she whispered. Aiden looked at her. "Who are they?" "They are hunters," she said softly. "They serve the ones who want to control me." He frowned. "Why you?" Her hands trembled. "Because of who my mother is." The fog opened like curtains being pulled aside. Out of the darkness, large black figures walked slowly toward the gate. Their armor reflected no light. Their eyes glowed red. They moved like soldiers, calm and steady. At the center of their group floated a tall figure in silver armor. A strange cold light shone around it. Aiden felt the air grow heavy. This was not a random attack. They had come for her. The silver-armored figure raised its hand. A smooth, echoing voice filled the air. "Give us the girl," it said. "Do not resist and your colony will be spared." The guards looked at Aiden nervously, but Aiden didn't move. He glanced at Ilyana. She was shaking, but she did not step forward. "No," Aiden said clearly. His voice was steady like steel. "She's under our protection." The figure tilted its head. "Then you have chosen to stand against us." The moment the words ended, the wind roared like thunder. The hunters moved fast, too fast. Energy blasts shot through the fog. The ground shook as the colony turrets opened fire. Lights flashed everywhere. The quiet night turned into a battlefield. Aiden pulled Ilyana behind a metal wall as explosions shook the ground. "Stay here," he shouted over the noise. "Don't move," she grabbed his sleeve. "You can't fight them all." "Watch me," he said, then rushed back to the gate. The hunters crashed against the colony wall with incredible strength. The defense turrets hit them, but they kept moving. One of them leapt onto the wall, landing near a guard. Aiden fired his rifle, hitting the creature straight in the chest. It fell but got up again almost instantly. Its armor was strong. "Focus fire on their joints." Aiden yelled to the soldiers. "Hit where the armor moves." The guards followed his orders. Slowly they pushed the hunters back. But the silver figure floated closer, untouched by the blasts. It raised its hand and a wave of energy spread through the wall like a silent shock. Several turrets went dark at once. Inside the medical bay, Ilyana felt the ground tremble. She knew they were not here to destroy the colony, they were here for her. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and stepped out into the storm. When Aiden turned, he saw her walking toward him. Her glowing lines were now as bright as stars. "Ilyana!" he shouted. "Get back inside." She shook her head. "I can't. If I don't face them, they will destroy everything." He ran to her, pulling her behind cover. "You're not a soldier." Her eyes met his, calm and steady. "But I am not helpless." She raised her hand slowly. The glowing lines on her skin pulsed like a heartbeat. The fog around them began to twist and bend. A soft hum filled the air. The silver figure stopped and watched. Aiden stared in shock. "What are you doing?" "Calling," she whispered. The wind grew warmer around her. The fog moved as if obeying her will. Then far above the colony, a sound like deep thunder filled the sky. A beam of light broke through the clouds. Aiden looked up and saw a massive ship descending slowly. It was unlike anything he had seen before, smooth, silver, and shining with golden light. The silver figure's voice grew colder. "You think she can save you?" The ship stopped high above the colony. A voice echoed through the sky, calm and powerful. "You have made a mistake," the voice said. It was not human. It carried a weight that made even the hunters pause. The silver figure stepped back. "She called her," Ilyana whispered. "Who?" Aiden asked. "My mother," Ilyana said. The golden ship opened slowly. A bright light covered the battlefield. The fog vanished like smoke in the wind. The hunters lowered their weapons, frozen in place. A figure walked down from the ship. She was tall, graceful, and surrounded by a soft glow. Her armor was like living silver. Her eyes shone bright gold. Even without anyone saying it, everyone felt her power. This was Empress Ilara, the ruler of one of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. The silver-armored enemy took a step back. "Empress," it said slowly. Her voice was calm but strong. "You came to my daughter with weapons." The figure said nothing. The wind had gone silent. Even the alarm stopped. "You will leave," she said. It was not a request. It was a command. Aiden watched the hunters. They were powerful, but even they seemed afraid now. The silver figure turned slowly, its voice lower. "This is not over." Empress Ilara raised her hand and a golden wave of light spread through the ground. The hunters vanished into the fog like dust blown by wind. The storm disappeared. The night became quiet again. The soldiers slowly lowered their weapons. Many were too stunned to speak. Aiden stood still, his heart racing. He had just witnessed power greater than anything humanity had ever seen. Ilyana walked toward the Empress slowly. "Mother," she whispered. The Empress knelt and touched her daughter's face gently. "You were brave," she said softly. "And you called me well." Aiden stepped forward. The Empress turned her golden eyes toward him. For a moment, he felt as if the whole universe was looking at him. "You are the one who kept her safe," she said. Aiden nodded. "She needed help." "She is my only child," the Empress said. "For that you have my respect." He didn't know what to say. She was no ordinary leader. She was someone who could shape entire wars with a single word. The Empress looked around the damaged colony. "You stood against the storm when others would have run. Humanity is stronger than I thought." Aiden met her gaze. "We don't leave people behind." She smiled faintly. "Good." The soldiers around them were still silent, unsure what to do. The Empress placed a glowing hand on the ground, and a wave of golden energy spread through the damaged walls. In seconds, the broken turrets and gates repaired themselves as if time had reversed. The colony lights grew brighter. Aiden's eyes widened. "How?" "My people learned long ago," she said gently. "What can be destroyed can also be healed." Ileana looked at Aiden. Her eyes were softer now, not filled with fear like before. "You saved me," she said. "You saved all of us," Aiden replied. The Empress placed a hand on her daughter's shoulder. "I will take her back home soon. But know this, Captain. This was not the last storm. The galaxy is changing." Aiden nodded slowly. He understood. This night was only the beginning of something much bigger. The golden ship rose slowly back into the sky. The Empress and Ileana stood at the gate. Ileana turned one last time to look at Aiden. She smiled softly, holding the coat he had wrapped around her on that cold night. "Thank you," she said. He smiled back. "Any time." Then the ship disappeared into the stars, leaving behind only the quiet night and a sky that now felt a little bigger. Aiden stood at the gate long after everyone else went inside. The fog was gone. The stars above Zarathus were bright and endless. Humanity had always believed they were small in the universe. But tonight Aiden realized something else. They were not just survivors. They were part of something greater. And the galaxy would soon learn what it meant to stand with humanity.